the first half, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! Out by Tennessee, Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back is Sayre. And Tennessee can say hello, win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now. McGrath for the win. He got it. If you don't like college football and you watch this one, I'm not sure what your problem is.
Reddit did to do, and welcome into More Important Issues. It is Sunday, January 28th. Your University of Tennessee men's basketball team remains undefeated at home in conference play. Actually, probably on the season, but I didn't feel like checking that to verify. But yeah, conference play. We'll just go with conference play. Something Jerry Stackhouse struggles with and may not know the meaning of. Unclear at this moment.
Yeah, on one of the biggest stages, right?
That is a big stage. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if it's the biggest, but it's pretty big. It's
pretty big one. Yeah.
It's got some size on it for sure. Good to get a win. I will listen. I think Landon thought I was a little crazy. I think some other people maybe thought I was crazy and was playing the Negaval role when I talked about Tennessee facing some challenges, mostly internal challenges, taking a week off. That's what we'll chalk up that first half to. Internal challenges. You're trying to get back into the groove of things. Been a week since you played the game. Get in the groove, and the second half just works itself out, and Tennessee looks a lot more like normal in the first half. And so good news is you shouldn't have a week off the rest of the season, a full week. So that's the good news.
Yeah, should be fine with that. It was just a weird. It wasn't like it was just at times it was sloppy, but it wasn't just like turnovers. It was just Tennessee not being able to knock down shots. And Vanderbilt was knocking down shots. So it was. Yeah, I guess it was just we had to get her sea legs. I don't know. Maybe the
home court advantage is overrated. It doesn't do anything for you.
Yeah. I was just thinking about the height difference on the court. Like,
yeah,
it's kind of like playing in Denver, you know?
Yeah, a little more altitude out there in Nashville on that court. Everybody knows you got to look out for that. Yeah, I think so too. It's I mean, all in all, you're never going to be pleased with a half like that against an opponent like that, but you're also going to always be pleased with the bounce back like that, no matter the opponent. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things you balance. Dalton Knecht, he is confirmed to be him. He just continues to do otherworldly things on the basketball court for someone we've seen at Tennessee. I mean, you heard Ron Slay talk about it, that there at the end, I think it was the end of the game or halftime one, he goes on to say, he's like, I want SEC Player of the Year. I've never been able to score like this guy did. And so he's just doing things we haven't seen at Tennessee. And I'm not, he's the best player. I know people are going to, I don't know. I think everybody's kind of on the Dalton Knecht high right now. So I don't know if anybody will argue that anyone's better right now. But we've talked about it. He's so dynamic. He's the most dynamic scorer that Tennessee's had.
Yeah, it looks like it's the front runners right now for the Wooden Award is Dalton Knecht and Zach Edey. And I know people are going to be like, Zach Edey, 22 points, 11 rebounds. The guy's 7'4", okay? Dalton Knecht is doing a little bit of everything.
He's having to work harder for it, okay?
Yeah. It's a little bit easier for Zach Edey to score 22 points when he's standing right there at the rim the entire time. So, he's just playing phenomenal right now, averaging 32 points in his last 5 games, which is unreal. What we're seeing. And it just seems like this team is just kind of riding with it. I mean, Jonas Adu is like, hey, man, like you're flirting with 40. Are you ever going to get there? Like, what are we waiting on?
Come on. It's time. You had some guys go off this weekend, this past week in the NBA. Had some insane game. You actually had Grant Williams 27?
Yeah, 27, career high.
27.
Yeah.
not as much as some of the other guys, but yeah. So I mean, there's points being scored. Dalton Knecht's got to get in on that action a little bit. I think that's my favorite thing about the Player of the Year debate. First off, there's still a lot of basketball to play. I mean, I'm a Tennessee fan. I'm gonna go ahead and write Dalton Knecht's name on the award myself. But there's still a lot of basketball yet to play. But I would like to note, as the president of the Dalton Knecht fan club, he is trending better. His points per game, Landon mentioned it. He's averaging right now 19 point something.
19.5.
But in the last 5 games, he's averaging 32. I'm not great at math, but I believe that means his average is going to continue to go up if he continues on this trail he's blazing.
Yeah, and he had that little 4-game span where he didn't score a whole lot, and a lot of that was due to injury, and then they kind of got that long break where it just felt like Tennessee was never going to play another basketball again during Christmas. And he comes back, and it's just been – he's been on fire.
Mm-hmm.
And now everybody was starting to take notice before this game, but it seems like everybody's like, is he going to do it again? He does it again. And now it's kind of like expected. Like Tennessee's basketball team expects Dalton Knecht to go out there and score 30 points. And I feel like that's huge. When you're down 9 to a team like Vanderbilt, I mean, this team didn't really look like it bothered them. They got a guy that can score literally 39 points in a basketball game. He scored 12 in a row.
It's got to feel good walking in the locker room. You're still down at half, but you were able to cut into a lead. You know what you have defensively. You know what you're capable of defensively. And then, like you said, you've got a guy that seems to be able to just score at will, and you can go to him in crunch time. So that's got to be a massive confidence booster. I feel like this team's gonna have a different mindset no matter where they're at in games because of Dalton Knecht.
Yeah, it feels like when he's able to hit some of those threes, it kind of boosts everybody's confidence. I mean, Jordan Gainey he's had 25 the last 2 games, shooting the ball really well, seeing the ball go through the net. I feel like his confidence is through the roof right now. You have Santi, who I thought played one of his best basketball games of the season.
Trending better. I know that's a guy that's trending better right now too.
Yeah, it just seems like everybody's more confident. And it's Dalton Knecht, go do your thing, and that just opens the floor for everybody else to get their little piece of the pie too.
Yeah, I'm not sure who tweeted it, so I'm sorry for not crediting correctly, and I'm not sure the context in which he was smiling. It could have been about his technical foul for all I know, which was incredibly egregious. Yeah. But Rick Barnes, that might be the biggest smile I've seen him put on as the Tennessee coach. I mean, he could have been making fun of Bob Kessler, and he smiles quite a bit when he does that. So I don't know the context of the smile. I just know that that's got to be the biggest smile I've seen from him in a long time. Probably the biggest I've seen from him at Tennessee. I think he knows there's something special going on right now. I think he sees what Dalton Knecht's doing, but I think he also sees what the guys around him continue to do and are getting better and are contributing in different ways that are very important as well to what Dalton Knecht's doing. And, I was thinking about this, and I think this is maybe saying it's probably not true. I feel like if you get double-digit points from Jordan Gainey, you're probably going to win most games because that's a guy that's going to not get a ton of minutes, but he's also going to have the opportunity to score double-digit points every game. And so if he's knocking down shots, that's a really good sign for your basketball team. Because he's going to have the opportunities to score double-digit points, but not have a ton of them because just based on the minutes he plays.
Yeah, and that's what he's in the game to do is shoot. You don't see him put up a lot of stats anywhere else, whereas Dalton Knecht is getting rebounds, getting assists, steals, blocks even.
Josiah and Vescovi are a great example too. Like they can both shoot, but they're not really in the game for that.
Yeah. But yeah, if you get a guy coming off the bench like Jordan Gainey is right now, and just shooting at a high rate as he is these last couple games, I think it just boosts everybody up. And you don't have to play Dalton Knecht. How much did he play? 34 minutes, or was the guy 36 minutes? Like you have another guy that can dribble the basketball, and is going to be out there to shoot it, and threes more than 2.
Yeah, but when you're talking, Dalton Knecht playing 34 minutes yesterday. I mean, that's 6 minute breather for a guy that important, scoring 32. That's a lot of minutes to be on the bench.
Yeah,
and do that much damage.
Yeah, and that's That's because of that defense. I know. I mean, Vanderbilt scored 62 points, and I thought their guards played well. And some people have even said in this chat so far that Vanderbilt played as well as they are capable of playing. And yeah, maybe so, but they still scored 62 points, which is even lower than their average was going into this game. So,
yeah. It's this team is really, really good.
But I like what you said about Rick Barnes. He seems to be letting loose a little bit. Maybe that's when Tennessee's at their most dangerous is when he's like that. But he's also kind of won the lottery this year. I mean,
with Josiah coming back, and you originally not even on scholarship.
Right. Yeah, you got all these guys that come back. Santi, no one really transferred. That was a huge loss. And you get your leadership back. You get Zakai that he looks like he's 100% now. No real side effects from that injury from last season. And then you kind of lucked into a really good transfer, but I don't think anybody thought he was going to be this good.
Yeah, I was very excited for him watching the way he went to the basket, even at Northern Colorado. Just he's a lengthy player. I mean, there's a lot of reasons to be excited for him. I would not have been willing to say at the time. I know I didn't say it at the time that we're talking about SEC Player of the Year in contention for both that and the Wooden Award. No chance I would have put any money on that. No. Also, I want to know if he answered that Kevin Durant was his favorite player growing up, who he modeled his game after. I want to know if that was is that a real answer? Is he sucking up to Barnes? Like, what was it? I just want to know if that's true. I don't know how we check that, but it was a good answer regardless.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of plays like him.
Plays. I mean, both coached by Rick Barnes. I mean, what are we doing? Like, come on, we'll say it.
Well, we were talking about it last night when we were watching the game. It was like, I mean, who do you really put on Dalton Knecht? Like, you have to put. He is really quick with the basketball. You have to put a guard on him, and then a guard is too small to really get in his way in the lane. Also, when he's at the 3-point line, a closeout, like that hand is not blocking anything, from Dalton Knecht's vision. So I think it's a hard matchup with Dalton Knecht. And I think that's you don't really have, unless you have a really good, basketball team that has a lot of depth, you just don't really have a lot of options to put on him.
Certainly not for 34 minutes. It's hard to do. You might get good possessions from guys that can do things effectively, but guarding him for 34 minutes is a tall task. Yeah. That it takes someone special to do.
Yeah. And a big guy, like, you can't put him on him. Like, he'll just take him every time to the rim. So.
Well, and I think too, what's super impressive, and one of the reasons he's tough to match up with is, dude, his quick trigger when he has space. That inbound pass, for example, I mean, did not seem like he had that much space. Creates a ton of space, even just with his shot motion. Creates quite a bit of space, and God, he's so good.
Yeah, I was watching Missouri actually play the other day. I guess I was really bored, but dude, they play a lot of zone, and I'm just thinking, I was like, dude, we are gonna eat them up if they play zone. Like, there's so many open threes. Now Tennessee has to hit them, but a guy like Dalton Knecht, Jordan Gainey, the way he's shooting, Santi at times.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way they go a lot of zone against us, but they were doing it, and I was just like, man, we might score 150 points on Missouri.
And just the way Tennessee moves the basketball too, those gaps in the zone are going to be, I mean, it would take a really good zone to break down this offense, excuse me. They also have a ton of guys that they can utilize in the high post to help break down the zone. Like, it's not just Jonas Adu that's going to be there. It'll be Josiah. It may be Dalton Connected Tom, a guy who's really good at shooting from 15 feet. Maybe not yesterday when they were from the definition of free throws. That's the only place he seemed to struggle yesterday. But from 15 feet in live action, the dude didn't miss.
Yeah. Yeah, if they want to go zone, I mean, you're going to have to get the oxygen tanks out because, like you said, Tennessee moves the basketball really well. Also, the way that we play defense, it just takes a toll on you in the game. So I feel like by the end of the first half, they're going to be dead. Surrender Cobra dead.
The idea of zone, it sounds good in theory with the team that has several matchups that aren't ideal, specifically Dalton Knecht. Sounds good in theory. You don't want to get in ISO situations like Vanderbilt did late when he hit that one from 15 feet. But this team is good enough to break it down fairly easily, and that creates a lot of problems. So I don't know exactly how you guard this Tennessee team. Like, I don't know what the most effective way. The most effective way is have a good roster that you can just go man up on. I mean, that's the easiest way.
Yeah,
to do it.
or maybe foul Dalton Knecht and hope he has like a free throw shooting night like he did against Vanderbilt, where he was 3 for 7.
Right.
Maybe that's your only choice, because like if he gets a full head of steam, he's so long, like he gets to the rim every time.
Yeah, he's very good around the rim. He's very good everywhere on the court. I'm sorry, I don't know why I said that. That didn't need to be said. I apologize.
Kevin Durant.
Just write it down now.
Yeah, Vanderbilt thought. Also, like, listen to Dalton Knecht's post game interview where he's just like, "Man, I wish I could have went to Tennessee. All my years in college." I'm like, bro, me too.
Yeah,
me too.
How nice would it have been? I mean, just even like last year alone.
Yeah.
Which I will say, I mean, another thing is I don't know what he was coming out of high school. I know he went to JUCO and then Northern Colorado. I don't know what that development looked like for him. It's one of those things, like, I understand what he's saying. I don't think he's saying he regrets, where he just wishes he seems to love it here, love the team, love the coaches, love the, I guess he said all this, love the fans. But I mean, if he comes here as a freshman, does he get lost in the wash and we never see him do this?
Yeah, maybe.
So it's nice that he's here now.
When he came out of high school, he wasn't 6'6" either. So
right. So it might be a different story, even coming from JUCO. Like we don't know how this story gets told. So,
but yeah, it just kind of stinks that you only have 1 year with him. But man, I'm just gonna enjoy the crap out of it, and that's all.
I don't want to. Shouldn't say that. I'll wait. We'll wait until he wins a national championship, and then I'll say what I'm gonna say right now. Remind me, someone. Set a reminder on your phone for like April. Probably like April.
VFL, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. We'll call him a VFL if he wins a national. That's what it's going to take. I mean, I'm going to comment on Kurt Wilkerson here saying, can we hang a Knecht jersey after one season? Yeah, I mean, why not? Just do it. Listen, you win Player of the Year, you take Tennessee to a Final Four, I will break into Thompson-Boling Arena and hang it myself.
Yeah.
And then I'll start on renovations.
Everybody should get tattoos too.
Just like a jersey tattoo?
Yeah.
Like a Dalton Knecht jersey tattoo?
Yeah, yeah. We are the Rafters.
We can't afford NIL anymore because our fans can't donate because they spent all their money on Dalton Knecht jersey tattoos. Worth it.
Yeah, you think there's a buy in bulk discount with that?
Yeah. I'll do it. Don't test me.
But yeah, I definitely think you have to. I mean, he's already, we asked the question on Twitter, like, who's the best basketball players you've ever seen in person? And like 80% said Dalton Knecht on there. I
love the guy. Let's pump the brakes on the hanging the Raptors. Still a lot of basketball left to play, and you got to go. Really,
yeah, but if you go and do what it looks like you're on track to do.
Oh yeah, I mean then that's in the conversation. You should have that. I think it's a really tough criteria to meet, and so I don't think you would technically meet it after year one. But if I'm sitting here dreaming about what could happen this season and it happens, then you break down all the rules. Like, rules are made so that exceptions can be made.
Yeah, because wasn't Chris Lofton, like, I don't think he met the criteria at first, and they like changed it, right?
I think he met the criteria.
Okay, so why did it take so long for them to do that? Do you have to be?
I think they wait. I think they try to wait until guys are done playing at the professional level, I believe.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that, but I think he did. I mean, I'll see if I can find it real quick. Yeah,
you might be right. I'm just kind of asking the question. I don't know that.
Yeah, I think it has to do with they just want to be able to have, like, have the guys do like the full kind of media quote unquote tour that you do when you're. Well, I guess they didn't wait for Peyton, but I don't know if the rules were really in place then or not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when they did that.
Is it kind of one of those things where you don't want to have like put Alvin Kamara on the jumbo show and he beats the crap out of somebody in Vegas?
Yeah. They are eligible after 8 years, or eligible 8 years after leaving UT is right now.
Okay. So that was way longer than 8 years.
If they leave. Well, this is confusing. Oh, sorry. So if you finish, I guess, your 4 years, you're eligible 5 years after. If you exhaust your eligibility, or if you don't exhaust your eligibility, you're eligible 8 years after. But you have to meet 3 of these 5: SEC Player of the Year, National Award Player of the Year, First Team All-American, career record holder in a significant category as determined by the committee at the UT, SEC, or national level upon completion of your career, national championship during your tenure, and there's a nominating committee that will determine when an individual will be honored with a retired jersey, and any member of the committee can bring a nomination. The composition of that committee includes faculty, which people make it up. So I guess you have to be nominated. So I don't know why it took so long exactly.
Oh, okay.
But I would think Chris
University
Lofton,
of Tennessee dragging their feet. Shocker.
He definitely met the career record holder. He was a first-team All-American. I don't know if he ever – so that exception may have been made. I don't know if he was ever SEC Player of the Year or National Award. So, I mean, as far as I could tell, if Dalton Knecht meets one of those 3 –
he's eligible to be nominated?
He'd be eligible to be nominated, yeah.
Okay. So Grant will have his at some point, right?
I would think.
I mean, 2-time SEC.
Is he a career record holder in any significant category? Oh, yeah. So Dalton couldn't be a career record holder, I suppose. He can only be a season.
Okay. So you have to meet just one of the 3 or
3 of the 5. I'm just saying that one wouldn't be it. He would have to. He could meet 3 of the 5 without winning a national championship. Let's make national championship one of them, though. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's make it easy.
I'm in.
I like that we're talking about this like it's gonna. But anyways, I guess that's interesting. I don't know why Chris Lofton took so long, but I feel like I remember them. So while that's not in the criteria, I feel like I do remember something being said about they wanted to maybe wait until he was done playing so that he could, I guess, do all the festivities. Maybe it had something to do with he was playing overseas a lot, and so I guess it'd be harder to get him back for a game. That would make sense more for him, whereas like Peyton Manning was not playing overseas.
Right.
You just do it on a bye week. So, no, I don't know, but yeah, I like that we just had that discussion. Like it's gonna, maybe
speaking into existence.
We'll see. Yeah.
Don't really have a lot else about this game. I mean, it just seems like Tennessee's clicking. I really like this basketball team. It looks like they're just having fun doing it. I mean, you saw the press conference with all the guys in the background. You know, Freddie DeLeon had a question. Meshack, Adu, like all those guys just were in there kind of haggling him. And I don't know. They just seem to enjoy it. And it's been fun to watch these last couple games.
Right. Yeah, it has been. I mean, there's some really, really tough games. There'll be some fun games coming up. We're about to preview one of those. That will be tough. I would like to note, I mean, just ball knower in general. For all the ones I get wrong, I did say Arkansas can give you trouble any night of the week. I mean, they took it to Kentucky last night.
Yeah.
I almost beat them. I guess it was close, but maybe not so close at the end. The score didn't reflect how close the game was.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is Kentucky bad, though? I mean, they're going to play a really good game against us. We all know it's going to happen, but they did get, like, blown out by South Carolina. I know we play South Carolina on Tuesday. But are they good? They got blown out by Alabama.
Let's find out.
Is the SEC just drunk? I mean, is it just a different team?
Juwan Jennings just made another incredible catch, by the way.
Dog. I wish I could watch a game as we do this, but I can't.
I mean, I can't really watch it. I just happen to look up when I have it on.
Yeah. I just get too distracted. I can't do
That's
it.
fair.
Like my wife will have a conversation with me, and if there's something on TV that just grabs my attention, I don't even hear what she said. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if that. I don't even think I make a noise.
That's terrible or
Yeah.
great. won something.
Yeah.
Oh wow! I mean, it was an incredible catch. The play was not what I expected the entirety of the play to be. That was, yeah. Anyways, all right. So I guess we're at South Carolina now. Yeah, I don't know entirely. They've obviously they've won their last 3 games. One of those being Kentucky, and just undressing. But they also scored 47 points against Alabama just a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Barely beat Missouri in overtime. I don't know. I don't know really what to think of them. I don't think they're super talented, but I also think like they are a decent basketball.
I think it's good that this game is at home. If it was at South Carolina, I'd be more worried about it.
Yeah. Yeah, they got a big guy in BJ Mack who does a lot for them. I was watching that. I mentioned I was watching the Missouri game. They were playing South Carolina. So I was doing a little, scouting for this game. Yeah, I just nothing really impresses me about them. Like they're not super long. BJ Mack is pretty big in the paint, so maybe that gives them a leg up because Adu is tall, but he does struggle with bigger guys in the paint like Zach Edey and Baycott and Tolu Smith. Right. So I think that's a matchup to watch. Meechie Johnson is a pretty good player. But I think it's kind of like a Mississippi State. Like no one just really impresses you. They just kind of play well as a team and, try to make things difficult on you. But we have this guy named Knecht, so all is well.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think that's who South Carolina is. They're not super impressive by any means, but they can win. I think the biggest thing for me about this team is that they've shown the ability to win games. They did, while they did struggle against Alabama in the worst way possible, they've also beat Arkansas and Kentucky in that stretch of 3 games that I was talking about. I mentioned Arkansas. While they don't seem to be a good basketball team, they also can provide trouble any night of the week. I don't disagree with you. Not good look to go to overtime with Missouri, but I think at the end of the day, like you win is a win in that category.
And they lost a close one to Georgia, which Georgia kind of gave Tennessee everything they wanted to. So it just can't happen in this league, I guess. But they lost to Clemson. I mean, they just got throttled by Alabama. But then they throttled Kentucky. It's just a weird season in the SEC. I don't really have this team's good at that. This team's good at this. I think it's kind of different week in and week out with the SEC.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen Auburn just struggle here of late, and we were talking about them being one of the better 3 teams in the league, one of the best 3. And then Alabama, who just not been convinced is very good, has hung around. They're tied for first right now.
Yep.
So it's all, yes, very, very weird. Don't know how to exactly break it down. I mean, you're gonna find out with the 2 probably, I'd say probably the 2 best rosters as a whole. Here next Saturday, you'll find out when they match up. I think that'll really lay out the land of the conference up until late or early March, late February. I'm with you. I don't know what to make of this league. Again, I'm glad this South Carolina Tennessee game is in Knoxville. I think that's part of what plays into that Kentucky game that South Carolina wins. Weird things happen on the road in the weekdays. I can't explain it. I would love for somebody to explain it to me. But I feel a lot better about going into this one, that this one is at home.
Yeah, and I'm seeing right now on here that you can get tickets right now as low as $3.
I know. I wish I wasn't busy every single other night of the week.
Yeah.
I mean, I may still. I don't know. For $3, you might find Thompson Bowling Arena. What is it? A 6 p.m. tip-off? Is that what?
Yeah, for $3, like you take your chance if you can go or not, just to get that $3 ticket.
That's a good point. I might. Yeah. What else? It is 6:30 tip. I could get to Thompson by 6:30.
There you go.
I mean, not G10, but
hopefully it's not snowing. Hopefully you can get there.
Got new tires on the runner today, baby. We'll be good.
Yeah. What about it snowing and then like a week later it's 60 degrees?
East Tennessee, you gotta love it.
Dude, it's unreal.
See, and that's why I think we should quit complaining about the winter when summer, it's just July and August, it's just 95 here, period. At least in the winter, you get some breaks.
Yeah. Yeah. Should be a good game. South Carolina is 17-3. I think that should count for something. 5-2 in conference play. Yeah, I look for Tennessee to kind of take care of business. I wonder, do we know what the line is for this game?
I have this pulled. It doesn't have it on the ESPN page that I'm looking at. It's probably on the scores page. So hold on.
I'm just interested because
not because you're betting on it, right?
No. It was really interesting that Tennessee did not shoot didn't shoot very good from the free throw line, and that line was 13.5, ended at 13. So tough one for Vols fans that took that one on Saturday.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it has the line out yet. All right, let's talk some football a little bit. Maybe look back in the past. It was the anniversary that we hired Josh Heupel the other day. So kind of wanted to get into that, look at some of his top moments as he's been at Tennessee, and it's kind of like this basketball team right now. It's just been fun. And I don't know if we've just had a miserable time the last where any kind of winning is great. But it just feels like we've had so many fun moments over these last 3 years.
Yeah.
2022 was, a huge part in that, but you have 2 huge bowl games that you won, Citrus Bowl, Orange Bowl. You should have won the Music City Bowl too, if we're being honest. But, yeah, a lot of huge wins in there. Just a few moments for me that just really stand out is obviously Alabama.
I figured
we can get that in a second, but one that's super underrated for me is going to LSU and just, the most least stressed I've ever been watching a football game because from the jump, Tennessee just stepped on their throat.
Yeah, which other than Alabama the next week, probably the most stressed I've been going into one just because seemed like everything was right for Tennessee, but I just didn't feel good about playing LSU on the road. A team that seemed to be, thankfully, it turned out that day that their entire offensive line was MIA, which made me feel a lot better. But it was one of those, you never feel good about driving 10 hours and hoping your team wins. So one of those that I just didn't know how to feel. Yeah, definitely very, 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 very stress-free. You said underrated. I feel like that gets talked about a lot. I feel like that's a big moment for a lot of Tennessee fans.
Well, I'm just saying, not everybody got to go to that game, so I feel like it doesn't stand out as much as probably the Orange Bowl or definitely the Alabama game, the Florida game, maybe even not.
I think the Florida game kind of gets buried in that. That's buried in the season, probably because Tennessee should have won that game. Didn't play quite as good as they probably could have. A lot of it had to do with Billy Napier being Sunbelt Billy and running weird 4th down plays. And credit to him, he took advantage where he thought he could take advantage, and it almost worked. Mm-hmm. But you also had I didn't like doing it as early as we did. I'm not saying I didn't like the chomp. Love the chomp. We'll go horns down, Texas. Get ready. But the chomp there in the 4th quarter, that was the game. Tony Vitello, you tweeted out the other day of him pumping up the crowd. That was that game. Just a lot of good moments. That Florida game was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That was a stressful game. Oh my gosh.
It was. Yeah.
That was more stressful than Alabama in the sense of we should not be losing this football, or we shouldn't lose this football game.
Yeah. Every second of the game was stressful.
Yeah. Whereas Alabama, it was kind of everything was gravy. Like if you can go win this game, oof.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that game was super stressful too, but there wasn't so much. You weren't expected to win, I guess.
I think my heart rate got to 182 in that game.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Dangerous.
Also another one. I mean, I mentioned it, but the Orange Bowl
Mhm.
and like what it kind of capped off that season, where there was kind of a little bit of heartbreak a little bit with South Carolina, how things turned out, what could have been, and then you just go in there and Dabo has the flipping burgers quote, and then you just go in there and destroy Clemson.
Right. I don't even remember now. What was the context of the flipping burgers quote? I don't even remember. You mentioned that, and I was like, why did that get said?
Yeah, I don't really remember either.
And I'm not trying to chalk this up to the most memorable, just kind of going back to that 2022 season. I'll say and I didn't think Tennessee was going to lose the Vanderbilt game, but talking about just the disappointment there towards the end with South Carolina, I was pretty impressed with the way this team responded against Vanderbilt and in a very nasty weather. Like the weather was just poor, rainy, cold. Thanksgiving weekend, obviously. Everybody was very, very unsure of Joe Milton, very unsure of whatever just unfolded in Columbia the week before. And so for the way the team responded and everything that kind of could have gone wrong, they didn't let go wrong. Played really well in that game, took care of business. And I'd say that the entire last two games, the way Tennessee closed out 2022, I think that showed me a lot about the culture that they're building there and is there right now. And I'm not saying we should remember that Vanderbilt game, blah blah blah. Like it's Vanderbilt, who cares? It's just going back and thinking about the Clemson game and how that closed out. And you mentioned the disappointment, maybe just kind of reminded me that was a big, I think, step in the right direction. I don't think it was a huge step or anything for Josh Heupel, but a step in the right direction in terms of culture and being able to respond to adversity as an entire team. And I'm not Kirk Herbstreit again. Don't think they should have lost that game no matter what. It would have taken a Sunbelt Billy devastation type event to lose to that Vanderbilt team like he did.
Yeah,
which I don't think Tennessee had. But yeah, just a good response and how it all kind of played out.
Mm-hmm. So it was the quote from Dabo was like, it was kind of like never take a week off or you'll be at home flipping burgers on championship week. That's what he was implying. But this was before they played South Carolina that next week and they got beat too.
Yeah, interesting. I'm gonna.
Yeah, he was what a moron. Love to see his downfall. It's been fun to watch.
I really wish he had gone to A&M. That would have been awesome.
God, could you imagine his buyout? And then he's going to complain about having to pay people in NIL with a buyout like his.
Right.
Moron. I think another one is just the way Hendon Hooker kind of worked out at Tennessee and that quarterback development from Josh Heupel helped you land a 5-star in Nico Iamaleava. Where it seemed like it's been a little bit of a domino effect where Tennessee is just going to be able to land top-tier quarterbacks out of high school.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely seems to be kind of trending that way with, obviously, your next, I guess, 5 stars, George McIntyre. But it seems like that's going to be the way of Tennessee for a while at least, and I hope that continues. I know after Iowa, everybody's excited about what Nico can do. I think there's still a lot of his story is, I guess, not even story. Like he still has a lot of questions on what he's going to be able to do, but obviously a good start with that Iowa game in his first career start. So kind of he's going to be doused in it next year for sure, but he's also got a lot of good pieces coming back. Offensive line mainly. That's huge to get that kind of protection though. Coming into 2024. I was about to say start with NC State, but it's not true for whatever reason.
Yeah, we got to go.
I hate neutral site games anyways, and then you make them the second game of the season. What are we doing? we couldn't at least keep them the first week of the season. Ridiculous.
Right. Yeah, that and then like what?
The touchdown San Francisco just scored. I'm assuming it's going to be defensive PI, so it's a touchdown. Yeah, go. You have to. Dylan and Joe, I hope y'all are watching it because that was insane. Just a bunch of guys getting bumped and ball hits off the DB's helmet, diving catch on the ground, gets up and walks into the end zone. It was awesome.
Who scored awesome.
It was. I think I could see on my 75-inch TV. Hold on, I'll wait on a replay. Sorry, I didn't mean to flex my TV like that for all you.
Yeah,
all you poors out there, but you know.
Also, I just no, we were talking about Josh Heupel, and I don't really have a lot else, but I do want to mention the just like his mindset coming into it, and when he was hired, I was just like, what are we doing? Who is this guy? But it was just kind of that like. I mean, we heard it from some of the walk-ons at Tennessee at the time where, like, they didn't even have the same locker room as the rest of the players.
Yeah.
And it just seemed like Josh Heupel has a relationship with everybody. So I think it was a big culture shift of, like, I'm going to go ahead and win now and try to win now. And it just seemed like when Jeremy Pruitt was here, it was like, all right, who can I go get to make this team better? And I think there's some kind of like perfect science to it. And I don't know if Josh Heupel has that exact science down yet, but there is seem to be like, I'm focused more on my team and like, yeah, I'm going to recruit. And if those guys want to be a part of this team, awesome. If not, we're going to try to win with what we got.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know if he has it all figured out. Yeah, there's for his story, there's a lot to be told.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, he's got it going in the right direction, and he seems to at least have something figured out.
Yeah, I think you can tell that by like who like doesn't leave. Like those freshmen that probably should have played a lot, especially in that secondary, that just decided to stay with it. I think that speaks to the culture. If there was bad culture and you're not playing, I think a lot of those guys enter the transfer portal. You just haven't seen a max exodus, and I think a lot of it has to do with stability within the coaching staff, and that probably needs to be credited to Josh Heupel as well. But it just seems like people enjoy being here.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say, I know there were a lot of Josh Heupel haters, and I'm not saying I was pumping him or anything, but that level head, that try to stay even keel, not get too high, not get too low, mostly because I've been burned by Tennessee so many times. I didn't call Josh, I wasn't angry at Danny for hiring his buddy. I was like, hey, I mean, this is where Tennessee's at the moment. Let's see how it works out. I kind of have no reason not to trust Danny White. Let's see what he does. So just put that in my feather in my cap there. Awesome. And when you think I'm negative, just understand I'm trying to be reasonable.
Well, I think it was super interesting because when we were hiring him, there was a lot of people saying like, oh, he took over a really good program after Scott Frost left. Like he benefited from Scott Frost.
Right.
And then there's other people like, well, at least he's going to score points. Jeremy Pruitt couldn't do that. So I think there's a lot of like mixed emotions. It was like we get this new AD, and then he brings in the guy that like he hired at the previous stop. Everybody's just like, here we go. Like it's just a constant turnaround. Like I think it was a lot of battered ball syndrome was what it was. Like people were just like, there's no way this works out.
Which I was, I didn't go that far, but I was 100% okay with. I was way too high on the last three coaches for no reason at all, just because I was a Tennessee fan. So I was very okay with waiting that one out. But yeah, I know a lot of people were just not happy, period, with it, which, I mean, I'm not saying they shouldn't have been. Like, there's no reason for Josh Heupel to have been he wasn't the clear cut number one for any program in the country. And I think that's okay based on what he had done. But yeah, I think now it shows like Scott Frost did something magical in 1 year at UCF, but I mean, that's all it was magic. There was really no substance to it. So there seems to be substance to what Josh Heupel's doing at Tennessee, what he was doing at UCF, and very happy he's the head guy in charge right now.
Yeah, he's also doesn't seem to be given like any kind of bulletin board material. Like, he's never too high or too low. He's just always kind of like, yeah, after a win, like he celebrates, like he celebrates with his team. He doesn't sort out the other coach like Eli Dorkowitz and like he can't wait.
Stand on business, baby.
Yeah, forget to celebrate with his team. Let's go run and tell this coach under my breath that we stand on business. So I do like that about him too, or he's just not – he just kind of seems level-headed. And I don't think there's a lot of head coaches, especially in college football, where you're basically more times than not a celebrity. He just seems like a dude.
Yeah, I mean, truly. I hope that's the case. Hope everything keeps going the right way. I think I think there's just more pressure building on him and his program as it's the recruiting picks up and seems to be improving, and some of the transfers he's getting in, and I mean, that's just the way. Every eye's on him, so we'll see how it all shakes out. But
winning creates expectations. So if you don't have any expectations, you're not winning. So
fair.
Feels good. Feels good to have some expectations finally.
Yeah.
We had a question. Let me go ahead and get to that.
Okay.
It's how does Hype feel about UT picking up Oklahoma with it being the first true test for UT in 2024? I don't know how we want to answer that. I mean, I don't know how Hype feels. Obviously, like, there's history there. So I think for this football team, it's all eyes on Nico, right? That's his first road game is in an environment like at Oklahoma, where it's
right.
Yeah, it's not Neyland, but it's still a hostile environment. It's hard to go in there and win, and Tennessee's going to have to do that with a redshirt freshman quarterback that's never made a road start before.
Yeah, and I think I'm not denying that it is the first, I guess, real test. It's a true road game. I think it is good that Tennessee gets to play NC State before going to Oklahoma. It's not 2 or 3 cupcake games, and then you go there.
So you like the second game now?
Well, I mean, I would prefer it to be at Neyland or even in Raleigh, like whatever. But no, I don't like that it's in.
I'm just messing with you.
Freaking Charlotte. But I think it's good though that you get a Power 5 matchup under your belt before going there. While I don't think it's a test that at Oklahoma is, I think it'll be a good measuring stick to kind of see what you're going to face, what you're going to be taking to Norman. And you won't have as many unanswered questions going into Norman. Yeah, it's going to be a tough environment that the crowd's going to create, that defense is going to have. But I think you've played Iowa now as Nico has. He'll have played NC State by then. He'll have 3 starts under his belt by then. I think it certainly presents an obstacle. I don't know that it's not one that you're staring down the barrel of thinking, whoa, like, oh, golly. So, yeah, sure, presents a test, but nothing, I think, too much even for a true freshman in his first road game.
Yeah. And I think Oklahoma, they played – I think that's their 4th game on the schedule. And they play all 4 of those games at home, but they're kind of going through it too with their, they're going to have a new starter at quarterback who didn't look great in their bowl game. So at least Tennessee had that where Nico did look good. I don't know if that does it help having more expectations or not. I don't know, but it definitely seems like Tennessee is in a better place now. Oklahoma has talent. Brent Venables is supposed to be a defensive player, even though it hasn't really translated to Oklahoma yet. I mean, I think that's a big test, and it's. I mean, the storylines are just going to be outlandish about the relationship that Josh Heupel has with Oklahoma and how all that happened.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, what a way for a homecoming to go in there and whoop their ass.
Yeah, I think he would. I don't think he'll say anything too publicly. I think he'll be very
level-headed. Yeah.
Very level-headed. I think he'll probably even go in the opposite direction and talk about how much he appreciates Oklahoma. And he should. I know the way he left Norman as a coach wasn't good, but he did play there for 4 years. The fans seem to still appreciate him. I think.
Yeah, I kind of think of the same thing, and it's kind of the same thing like with T. Martin. Like that didn't turn out well when he came back here as a coach, but he won a national championship here. Like it's hard to.
Right. I hope fans don't have too much bad thoughts about T. Martin because I don't think they should. But yeah, the Oklahoma fans seem to still really appreciate Josh Heupel. So I hope the homecoming's good for him. I hope it's bad for them. Very much so. Yeah. I hope they hate him by the time he leaves Norman. Honestly,
agreed.
You can only be loved by one fan base. That's the rule.
Unless you're Lane Kiffin, then you're loved by half of Tennessee's too, which baffles me. All right, let's kind of all the questions.
Real quick before we move on in our show, I want to tell you guys about some of our good friends. I'm talking about Grade A Grounds Coffee right now. They're a local coffee roasting company in Kingsport, Tennessee. They are owned and operated by 2 teachers in the Johnson City area. They're educators that want to support their community and students. While they also make great coffee, provide you with great coffee. I've got some in the pot ready to go in the morning. I'm pumped. Their main goal as a company is to give back to students in their area. They do that by donating 5% of all sales to a nonprofit organization that supports students all over the Tri-Cities called Coalition for Kids. The money that you spend on coffee, that money goes directly towards keeping a classroom at Coalition for Kids stocked with the necessary supplies needed for students. If you know a teacher, married to a teacher, or a teacher, you know how much money you spend on supplies. Why not get some help? And if you're going to buy coffee, buy from Grade A Grounds. Help keep those classrooms stocked. Also, you get a great little bonus when you buy coffee. You also get to see some of these students' art on display. All of their coffee bag labels are created by students in the classroom. Their first name, school that they go to give them recognition. They partner with schools and art teachers directly to have students create artwork around a specific theme. They've got some great themes, some great coffee, and they support great people. We love Grade A Grounds. We hope you love it too. Go check them out. Grade A Grounds Coffee. Make sure you go follow them on all their socials so you can stay up to date on everything they're providing. When we get around to football season, they'll bring back their Volsicle flavor. Good stuff. So make sure you go check them out, follow along, and while you're at it, go buy some coffee too.
Do it. All right. Well, most important. Yeah, Joey Dillon, if y'all have any, y'all can get in here too. Carlos says hello from Memphis. Go Vols. Go Vols.
Howdy, Carlos from Memphis.
Yeah.
Go Vols. Okay.
I'll go first. Man, I love watch parties.
Okay.
And Ford Field going nuts. I know it's 24-24, so I'm sure they're, you can cut the tension with a knife there right now, but I think that's awesome. I think that's something that, hopefully Tennessee's able to get in this college football playoff and, whatever it's like, I hope they do more stuff like that when Tennessee's able to go to the postseason or even like big away games that not everybody can go to. I feel like that is an easy thing to do. Maybe it's hard to just manage and throw together in a week, but if you $5 to get in and they sell concessions, I feel like that is an easy way to make money. And maybe we don't have to go up so much on ticket prices. We're able to do stuff like that. So there's my 2 cents.
I like the dreams you dream. I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's always appreciated.
I'm a dreamer. Who else got one? Joey?
Yeah, I'll make sure it gets uploaded here. I don't know if you guys just saw this. That Jawan catch. It was like, well, I guess earlier in the game. He probably sparked the team back to,
Honestly.
He's got that dog in him.
Little spark plug?
Yeah.
Also, the Brandon Ayuk, so you said that was correct, that it should have been a touchdown? He got him touched with his knee down?
Well, they should have different angle, and I was trying to type, and I think with the other angle, it looked like he got his knee, yeah.
No.
At first, it looked like he had it because he stood up and no one was even near him. I was like, okay, well, something's up.
I feel like you just got to let that play stand as a touchdown because it was so incredible. You're just like, yeah, that's a touchdown.
Yeah, call it back if he was down, but don't make the call on the field like that egregious.
Right. Sorry, I had my fail together here, but I don't. Hold on. Let me pull up my most importance here. Anybody got any more while I'm?
No, I do not have one.
I've just got this picture of Eminem, which is just in the world of seeing Taylor Swift every 30 seconds. I'm so sick of it. I don't know. I'm not even a big Eminem guy, but I think I'd rather see that on my, come across my screen.
Can I tell you a secret though, Joey? That I wish I could tell everyone. If we stop talking about her, even in the hate way, we just stop tweeting about her, they would stop showing her.
No, 100%.
She does numbies.
She does big numbies. Us complaining about it's keeping the NFL media strategy just absolutely afloat right now.
Yeah, they like to see it. My first most important, it's Todd Helton. Headed to the Hall of Fame.
Yes, sir.
I know I'm not in the baseball writers hate community. I'll gladly join for no reason. A lot of people hate who they vote for the Hall of Fame. And I'll jump on that train because I hate writers in general. So we'll say they got this one right.
Yeah. Yeah. One for the writers. Yeah, I think that's awesome. I think it's awesome for the baseball program. He's the first in Tennessee baseball history, but he's second in SEC history to make it to the Hall of Fame.
That's crazy.
Do you know the first?
No.
Anybody got a shot?
I don't think
shot in the dark.
Good guess. That just seems crazy to me.
He's got a famous nickname too.
For the SEC?
Yeah. If I give you the school, maybe?
It's Auburn, right?
It's Auburn, yes, sir.
I don't know the name. I just remember my buddy asked me the same question, but I'll take a half point.
Okay. It's Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Interesting. My next most important, also a fail on Jerry Stackhouse, but the timeout down 13 with 20 something seconds left, 12 seconds left, whatever it was. And he just gets to hear the fans sing Rocky Top until Vanderbilt can find that music button to play. It was great. What are you doing taking a time out there? And then to do it in an arena, in your home arena, and it erupts into Rocky Top. And it ain't 2,000 fans singing. It's your entire arena singing it.
Yeah.
It's all orange.
Also, should we do a standing O for Penny Hardaway losing 3 games in a row and basically went from a top 10 to being on the hot seat?
I'll do it.
I mean, yeah.
Memphis basketball, baby.
Hey.
Love to see
Jordan.
it.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
Any more most important?
I don't. I've got to fail. It is Vince McMahon. I don't know if y'all have seen all the Vince McMahon and Brock Lesnar. I don't know if y'all have seen all the stuff coming out in the lawsuit. Sexual deviance, for sure. They're crazy. Okay. You should go read some of the things the text messages they've pulled out. But while that is insane, the fail is on Vince McMahon fans who are reading these text messages. And some of the responses are, is this really a text from Vince McMahon? Wow, it's hard to believe a 75-year-old man would talk like this. Unbelievable. Definitely not something a billionaire would type. Sorry. Looks like something a 14-year-old would type. Any part of this is, well, it goes on. Anyways, these fans are in denial. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys are clearly on social media. Go look at some of the things old men say publicly. I can't imagine what they say in text messages. I mean, my God, these people are crazy. And we were going to believe Vince McMahon, who's a billionaire, can do and say whatever he wants, wouldn't say some of that stuff. What?
Yeah, I used to spend a lot of time on Twitter just reading tweets from a guy named Terrence Lewis. This old guy that was just commenting on any like.
We went over this before, right?
Yeah, we looked it up. It wasn't there anymore.
I was like, I'm having a wicked deja vu then.
Oh yeah, that was the best.
Yeah. People are wild.
And doesn't even know.
It goes like people are wild, men are wild. Old men are the wildest of them all. They will say whatever they want.
Yeah. And
then you factor in that he's a billionaire. Oh, he will say anything. There was a funny one in response. They're like, someone sent this exact same message to me when I was 14 after I killed them on Call of Duty. It was pretty nasty. It was a nasty message. Vince McMahon's a disgusting. I mean, God, I don't want to imagine what.
That's surprising though. I don't think anybody's like blown away by that.
Just apparently WWE fans are. That's it.
I don't trust WWE fans in the first place.
Apparently, in the lawsuit, Brock Lesnar's contract, part of his contract was that this girl that in the organization that Vince McMahon was in like some type of relationship with, not dating, that Brock Lesnar would get to have sex with this woman. That was apparently in his contract. I don't know if it was written in it, but apparently it was one of the ways he was convinced to sign a contract.
That's a bonk.
Yeah.
The entire WWE stuff going. I don't know. Have you all seen any of it that's gone down this week?
I'm not in that realm.
I'm not either. I just happened to see some of the tweets about the lawsuit.
Yeah, because like I don't consider it as like. I know this is a hot take.
Oh gosh.
I don't consider it like actual sports. So I could care less because most of the stories that you like see like that are on TV are fake. So I don't know what to believe in the WWE.
I don't think if you consider it a sport, you are a psychotic human being. I think it is. It takes athleticism to do it just as much as a stuntman in a movie.
Yeah,
but it's not a sport. A sport would imply that the outcome is left up to the competition. But while their outcomes, I guess, are variable, they're very much written. Like if a guy's a champion, he's gonna be a champion, period, no matter how it gets there.
You sell that to a 40-year-old John Cena fan. You're not getting through. I mean, you're brick wall with those people.
But I think like they can all, I hope, can recognize that it is just for entertainment. But I think, yeah, some people would argue it's still a sport, and that's psychotic. Darts is more of a sport than WWE.
A 9-darter is 10 times better than any WrestleMania cage entrance you're ever going to see. I don't know what you say.
Dude, have you seen some of the darts entrance this week? I guess there's a championship going on in like the UK.
Yeah, there was like 2 weeks ago. They were all electric.
Dude, there have been some electric entrances.
Just a smooth.
I think we need to go to a dart championship.
I'm down.
They probably got one at Cool Beans going on right now. We just didn't get it.
Probably do.
I wish. I think a kid that hit a 9-darter this week was very young, wasn't he?
16.
That's insane.
Looks like an absolute 35-year-old, but
there's I think he's a German dude.
He plays darts at some hole in the wall place that they smoke in, so it's just like killing him.
There's
he's like Europeans you can get.
Oh, for sure. There's a German dude. I don't know. I think he's German. Pro darter that he has like this super tall mohawk. Sides are shaved down completely, super tall, colorful mohawk. He rocks. I don't know his name. I just know he rocks. Get like a Pete Weber of darts. Just screams anytime he does something incredible. It's awesome.
That's huge. It's electric.
Are we on fails? Are we in fails?
That was the WWE thing was 100% fail of mine. Okay. Yes.
Okay. Then we went darts, so I didn't know if that was the most important too.
It probably sure. I don't.
Okay. I saw this on Facebook. I don't know if it's a troll, but this person said, remember when we used to skip class for a nap on the bathroom floor? And it's a picture of 2 girls like on the bathroom floor taking a nap.
Fentanyl is killing our students. That's terrible. Dude,
I was like, I think I'd rather be in class, number one. Number two, this lady comment on it, and she said, "That's nasty. I used to leave a little pee on the floor on purpose just because."
A lady said that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess when she was in high school, she was just
But I mean,
dribble on the floor just because.
forgive me if I'm wrong, but I feel like a woman would almost, it would be incredibly difficult not to get that on her like at least her clothes. Or
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking if I knew people were taking a nap on that floor, I would probably pee a little on it too.
Yeah.
that. And so what?
I would.
That's
Yeah,
crazy,
If
guys.
you're dumb enough to
Why? It's
take a
crazy
nap-
enough to take a nap on a bathroom floor. You're gonna have to.
I don't disagree,
Yeah.
but just like
Old
a bathroom
bathroom
floor, and especially a boy's bathroom, it's gonna be nasty in general. The pee bouncing off the urinal, like that. I don't disagree. But
Precisely. We're gonna.
I'm not gonna
bump those numbers
purposely
up.
turn and pee on the floor just for that
Well, it's
person's
not like a turn.
afternoon
It's just
nap.
like it's
Sprinkle.
just a little dribble. Yeah.
You got to walk through that at the end of the day.
No,
No, you
you
step.
see it.
over.
You know where it's at.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't know where everybody.
Tyloo that thing.
But Joe, you don't know where Landon peed just before you, and vice
I'm not
versa.
taking naps on the floor. I'll step over it. I got shoes
Yeah,
on.
that person that took a nap on it just wiped it up. They're like a human moth.
Yeah, that's true.
Those are crazy statements. Do you pee on seats too? Because you know people are gonna sit on them. Like, what are we doing?
No, I don't.
No,
pee on
'cause-
seats.
well,
That's-
Yeah, that's a good point. But no, but that's two different categories.
yeah,
I would
only pee on
argue.
the floor knowing that somebody was gonna sleep right there. That'd be the only reason why I'd pee on the floor.
What if someone just passed out incidentally? Now, not only is their day ruined by passing out, now they've had to lay in your pee.
Yeah, you should maybe
Get a water.
yeah have some sugar before you go in the bathroom. I don't know. Stop huffing paint. I don't know. I don't know.
Look, if a 16-year-old told that to me, I wouldn't be shocked, Landon. But you're how old now? That's crazy.
Yeah, that's unacceptable, Landon. I'm still in the window. I think it's fine. I think that's totally entirely normal.
Yeah, I don't pee on the floor just to pee on it, but I would definitely if I knew people were taking naps in the bathroom floor.
Precisely.
Yeah, I'm gonna dribble a little bit on it. Like I'm not gonna be like super careful when I'm peeing just because people are gonna sleep there. That's on them.
No, that's fair. But you made it sound like you're gonna. Like, they're not. Are they sleeping underneath the urinal? Let me see this picture. What's going? Like, who would? If you're gonna sleep in a bathroom, you're not doing it in front of a urinal.
I mean, that's the toilet.
That's drugs.
They're
just-
up.
They OD'd in the bathroom. They OD'd. That's drugs. Yeah, I'm not telling you to pee more carefully. I'm just saying you made it sound like you're gonna turn and burn just to make them
No.
make them feel a little something extra.
No, I wouldn't do that. I'm a nice guy.
A little urine in their fentanyl. It'll be awesome.
Got another fail. Did you see the Travis Kelce, Justin Tucker
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so
feud
dumb.
today?
Yeah. Listen, as a kicker, I'm gonna defend Justin Tucker. He also seemed to be clearly the most mature person there.
Yeah.
But I also love that they're doing it to a kicker. I don't know what they were trying to like get started, but
Yeah, that's again like I would not piss off my enemy before a game.
yeah.
In no way would I do anything to like get them going. Like Justin Tucker, Legatron, no.
He's got a
I'm
61
not.
yarder in him just because y'all
I'm
did
not.
that.
It didn't
30
work.
degrees.
Clearly,
It didn't work. Yeah. They came out on the right side of that one. It's really weird. Kickers warm up all the time on opposing sides of the field. Also, it wasn't like in the middle of Kansas City's warm up. They weren't out in pads. They weren't like their warm up hadn't started yet. Justin Tucker's out there in full pads. He started his warm up.
Yeah.
You can move. You can move for him.
And I don't understand. Like it seemed like Patrick Mahomes was just doing his thing. Like, and Travis Kelce just went and like threw his balls and helmet.
Yeah, he seemed to think they were in the way. They weren't moving. It's not like he was kicking them into them.
Yeah.
It did look like there was a video. I don't know if it was after what Travis Kelce did or before, but Mahomes had moved it at some point too.
Yeah.
But I don't know when. Also, people talked about they're like, this team's so annoying. This is the most annoying team ever. Blah blah blah. Why are they want everybody to hate them? Can we just stop? If they were on your team, you would love it. So
Yeah.
quit being annoying yourself. It's one of those things. It was real, dumb and stupid, but it's not the end of the world. You see that all the time on the football field before games, like crap like that, like petty stuff.
Yeah.
yeah, like you gone.
Yeah,
Is Lamar Jackson just a running back again? I think the juice is gone.
Should have been a wide receiver. Is that we're gonna start that?
Yep. Until he wins the Super Bowl, we're gonna keep it going.
Okay. I seriously don't know if this Patriots level dynasty from Kansas City. Is anyone ever gonna make it out of the AFC?
Dude, that's why I bet on them today. I was just like, they're not
no way.
losing. Yeah, they don't lose.
Right. This NFC Championship just got really good, by the way.
Yeah, I'm excited to turn that back on here in a second.
Yeah,
well, that's all I've got. So if you want to,
I am. This is kind of a most important, but real quick, I am super excited for Texas to be in the SEC because we are absolutely they're going to be the most hated team in the SEC in 2 or 3 years, and it might not even be close. The horns down thing, like they are.
Too fun.
Oh my God, they're going to die when we like figure out something else that like tops the horns down thing. I mean, it's over. I mean, they might all be on suicide watch for real.
Right. I did see some Texas fans tweeting today. They're like, no, I don't, because I guess it was the BYU staff's decision to tell them to change their shirts.
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't know why everyone thinks this is a Texas issue. Like, we don't have a problem with it, blah, blah, blah. Your coach was just yelling at players a few weeks ago, opposing players about it. So, I mean, there's people at Texas. I'm not saying each fan has a problem with it. I don't believe that. But there's people inside your organization that do have a problem with it that are very butthurt about it. So it is a Texas issue.
Yeah, that might be
whether
okay
it's everyone or not.
But the SEC, you better have some thick skin or it's going to be a rough go.
Yeah, it's I can't remember who tweeted. They're like, is there something more offensive that I don't know about? Do we need to be aware? Because if it's just doing Texas symbol opposite, then what are we complaining about and crying about?
Right.
It's also funny to, I'm sure every Texas fan is classic. This generation's a bunch of snowflakes. And then there's Texas fans that are getting butthurt about a hand.
Gotta love it. Guys, real quick, go check out Rowback, rowback.com. Use promo code More Important Issues for 20% off your first purchase. They got great polos, hoodies, Q-zips, joggers, pants, shorts, T-shirts. They got it all. Go check them out. Just great quality. We love them over there. 20% off your first purchase. Promo code More Important Issues. Guys, it's been fun. Y'all have a good week. Great Monday. And we'll see you back here on Thursday. Got some news coming up, so be on the lookout for that. And got a special guest coming on. Excited for it. We're bringing the boat in, and we out.